We're live, everybody. Welcome back to Strong Man Personal Finance. Thank you for your patience. So my HVAC guy came in about 20 minutes late, and he checked everything, and now we're good. Okay? So Jay Nagy is making himself some breakfast. You know, he's making himself Pop-Tarts and Dino Nuggets and whatever. And then he'll be on shortly. And then I believe we're going to have Fabio, my Slabio, on as well, even though he's traveling or something. And then Cole, my butthole, like a little loser, is at his job. And then I don't know about Dan. We'll see if Dan pops in at all, okay? So here I am. I got a purple Monster. Okay, it's pretty good. When I go to my parents' house, like they have a whole stash of Monster. So I just get a bunch of free Monsters whenever I go up there. And then I bring them back down to my beautiful area. Oh, we got a guest. Hello?
Man.
Yeah, you're in.
Hello.
What's up, man?
I've been crying all week.
I know. Did you make a Scream video?
No.
You know, I didn't feel like the memes were as powerful this time around. Did you? How do you feel? Was it the same as 2016?
Before or after?
After.
No. Dude, like 2016, that was just like, no one believed it, right? Like, I couldn't believe it that he won. I was up till like 4 a.m. I woke up my wife. I'm like, he won. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? But this time I'm like, it's going to be a blowout either way. I just didn't know which way. I'm like,
yeah, I had a really good feeling. Like I saw all the early votes coming in, which is normally Democrat, but he was ahead in a lot of those. And then I could just almost feel the energy. It was like palpable. I'm like, yeah.
As soon as I messaged in the Discord to you or to you directly, I'm like, as soon as he went from like 80,000 up to like 120 in Pennsylvania, I'm like, it's over.
Yeah.
Like she's not turning that back. And then it was done.
But yeah, it definitely wasn't 2016 because I remember like the polls were just so bad for him. Like everybody was mocking him and laughing him. Clinton was up massively in like every swing state, according to the polls. And then he blew it out of the water. It was shocking.
Who gives a shit about polls anymore? I've never been asked a poll. I don't understand where they get those polls from.
Well, I mean, after 2016, if you trust any polls, they're just absolute nonsense.
Yeah,
they're garbage. I don't know why those people even have jobs. Like, why are we paying these people?
Or well, this was the first time I voted Republican since McCain, so it's been a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only voted twice in 2020 and now. Before that, like I kept the last election when Trump first got elected. I was paranoid that I was going to become a Virginia resident because I just left Fort Hood, Texas, and I was a Texas resident, so I wasn't paying state income tax. And then I had gone to my parents' house in Virginia during my terminal leave, and that's right when the election was. And I'm like, I'm scared to vote because if I register, what if somehow they, make me pay Virginia taxes? So I didn't vote in the 2016 election, but I did for the last two.
But like, I don't know who they're going to blame for this. I see like on Reddit, a lot of they're like blaming boomers in general. And I see a lot of people like talking about like, they're going to like cut their families off. Like if they have like dads and uncles that like Trump, they can't handle it and they've cut them out of their lives. And then people on Reddit are like, good for you. I'm like, this is terrible. Like you've let politics like destroy your life and your family. Like you didn't have to go that far, these people. I'm like, you could have just like stopped at any point. But
yeah, some people take it too seriously. I mean, if he had lost, I would have been disappointed because I think he's hilarious and I love him. But I wouldn't have like cut off my family because Trump lost. It's freaking stupid. Like people, they way over exaggerate the results of elections. They think it's like we're now under a fascist dictatorship, which is not true.
We still have courts. We still have laws. Like they said the same shit in 16. It was like, no, it's fine.
But it was a good night. I got pretty blasted. I shouldn't have done that, but
she wasn't a real candidate for president, right? That's the
No.
problem. She wasn't. She was a suit. Like, she didn't go through the primary season. She didn't. None of it was all just spoon fed to her. So like they didn't have a real candidate this year. I mean, I don't know why people could be surprised that she got her ass beat. So
they should have done Michelle Obama. I think she would have had a pretty good shot of winning.
Honestly, yeah, we think about it now. Yeah, if they were gonna just pick someone to do it, right? Because they could have just picked whoever when he dropped out. Like, yeah, she probably was their best shot. I would say, or I don't think Gavin Newsom was going to do it at all. I think he maybe they asked him behind the scenes and he was like, nah, I'm not getting into this.
Yeah, maybe he'll do it in the future because he's still pretty young from what I remember.
Yeah.
And he would actually probably appeal to a lot of people that voted Republican this time. So he would actually have a decent shot.
But they underestimated the damage that inflation did. I think that was her biggest problem. Like, I don't know how she could. The Democrats were fucked because inflation like really hurt people the last 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, most elections are just about the economy. It's like when Trump lost in 2020, I'm 95% sure it was just because of all the chaos and lockdowns in the country. I think he would have won had it not happened. And then same thing with Biden and Harris. Inflation, everything that's people are struggling with. It was pretty much determined, but you never know until the election actually happens.
Jay Nagy is celebrating.
Where's Jay Nagy celebrating his daddy's? No, so apparently he's making breakfast, but he should be on here very shortly. And then I don't know about Fabio. He's traveling or something.
He is international right now.
Oh, speak of the devil. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
You were waiting until we said your name, didn't you?
Yeah. Here, hold on. Let me actually set up some. Turn off the camera, or I'll turn off the background. Hold on.
Are you at the southern border right now?
I'm at a new undisclosed. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me do this.
You're at
new
the wall.
Location. There we go. Blur's better. I'm at the wall, documenting what I'm
Fabio
finding.
was so distraught he left the country.
Yeah. So.
We wish him well.
Well, I threatened that if Jill Stein won, I'd leave to Puerto Rico. So
you didn't see the Fabio screaming meme that he made? Yeah, you guys got to see it.
Which one is it? Was it the one with Mark Cuban's face?
No, it's when you were screaming at the camera because Trump won.
Oh, yeah. I got featured on MSNBC as one of the people freaking out.
Yeah, so. I mean the meme magic. I don't feel it because I almost think most of the screams, when people are freaking out on cameras, it's probably fake. They're just doing it for attention. So it was much more real and more shocking in 2016.
Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, no, that's probably one of my. Yeah, I'm not very political, but like I love the TDS. The TDS is like something I live off of, a little bit. It's like entertainment. It's kind of like Kemmer. It's in the same ballpark.
Yeah. It's addicting. I can't stop. Well, actually, I beat my addiction to Khmer. At a certain point, I just got tired of watching him and all his nonsense. And I finally broke it off.
Oh, he's killing it right now because he went all in Misty.
Yeah, so he's doing he's buying things as they go up. The traditional, strategy that works, obviously.
I mean, it worked. Like momentum can probably work for a while, but I don't think it works forever. So he's going to look good for a decent chunk of time, but he'll get his due one day. Don't worry.
One day you're going to wake up and MicroStrategy is just going to be like 30-40% down at some point. Just a matter of when. And then he'll never recover from that. So,
yeah.
Well, the only thing that's going to save him is going to be his margin call.
Robinhood will save him.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
basically will save him from destruction.
And I think the margin requirements for those ETFs are a little bit higher, so you can't leverage up as much as you could with another stock. I'm pretty sure. So there's that. Did you guys get really happy with the market moves last week?
I did. My one company that I can't believe it. It was very
Speaking of HVACs,
I know. One of my biggest investments this year is an HVAC company, and I'm almost doubled now, which is crazy. I've only owned it for like 3 months, and I'm just about double.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
I'm very happy with my Tesla gains.
They said like they had a bad earnings last quarter, and then if you look, and they even said they're like, just some people pulled back their orders because of probably uncertainty, the elections, whatever. And then this quarter, so it dropped right on earnings, so I bought it. And then this quarter they reported 58% year-on-year data center cooling business increases, which is wild. I did not expect that at all. 10% overall growth. So stock just ripped. Perfect timing, I suppose, with the elections. But
so it was an earnings based thing. It wasn't like just election.
Yeah,
like a lot of companies.
I mean, the expectation was next year they would normalize like their supply chain and get more in orders. So people are impatient, so it dropped on that. It's like, dude, they didn't say they were like losing business or nothing. Like
the legend has returned. You look so smug, Jay. What are you happy about?
Yeah, I don't know. Tuesday was a pretty good night.
The worst night of my life.
Huh?
I left the country. The worst night of my life.
Where are you now? Are you back in Venezuela?
Yeah, I went back.
I'm a Democrat, Jay. Give it to me.
You got deported already.
I voted for Trump, though, but...
Well, dude, like... I mean, you didn't even run a candidate. What'd you think was going to happen? I mean, here's the truth, in my opinion. If you had somebody that was a Democrat who was like articulate, the Democrats would have won. They did too good a job of smearing Trump. Like, whatever you think of Trump, yeah, he runs his mouth, but I mean, the media just lies about him. I mean, I still have Facebook friends that are repeating the very fine people thing. And I'm like, do I explain to these morons, like for the 900th time, like he never said that? So, but yeah, is what it is. I mean, I don't think Trump is going to save the world. I was just sick of hearing the bullshit for 4 years.
I'm just looking forward to the comedy.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. I don't know what's going to happen with these tariffs and everything, but
dude, he's going to start out at 300% tariffs. They're going to negotiate it down. Nothing really is going to change. Like the deficit is not going to be under control. Your food prices probably aren't going to come down. It is what it is. It's like at this point, I vote on two things. Are you pro Second Amendment, and are you going to make me laugh as the Titanic crashes in to the fucking iceberg? Right? That's where we are. It's the end stage of the empire.
Like you said, though, like they didn't put a real candidate forward. And who do we blame for that? Biden, the people that enabled him and kept telling him that he wasn't losing his mind. I don't know. Like, finally, Nancy Pelosi ended it, right? She went to him in the summer and she's like, we're cutting your funding off. Like, you need to drop out. But
well, as much as I think Joe Biden's a scumbag, they did him dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And then you expect him to cooperate with you? Because I'm pretty sure Jill Biden voted for Trump. She was wearing that red thing.
Yeah. It's a shame. But
Dan, are you really a Democrat?
Yeah, I'm registered.
So, okay, from your perspective, what did you think of Harris? I'm just like, I'll just tell you mine real quick. I was like, this person shouldn't be there. She can't even carry on a conversation.
I never liked her ever. But they had no choice. I get due to the dropout, but she wasn't a real candidate. She had there was nothing I could agree with her on. I don't know anything that I could have looked at her and said I agree with her. And she didn't really have an agenda, right? It was just kind of continuing the Biden times. But like I see like immigration, they're dumping all these people in New York City. The budget's getting out of control in New York City, which also affects my state, right? For these immigrants, they're housed in hotels down the street from me, and I feel for these people because then what do you do with them? They can't work, and they want to work. They're stuck in this country, and this is okay. The president controls immigration. But she had no answer to this. She had no answer to inflation. In the end, I think inflation is what killed the Democrats.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with the migrants is, well, if you're telling me we need these people here because there's so many jobs, why aren't they working? And why aren't you vetting?
That's why, because of regulation.
No, I know, but then why are they here?
Right.
It's like my opinion on it is like, I'm sorry, the world's not perfect, but the United States can't absorb everybody in the world that wants to come here.
Wait, pull this Emperor Joker. If we can't talk about this in reality, like, what do you want me to say? I have no way to prove to you I voted for either side.
I don't trust Dan either.
Here you are. Bro. Here's a Democrat that has voted Democratic for a long time. I switched to Trump. So you'll ask me some questions if you want. You're going to get nowhere just saying, oh, Dan's lying. You voted for her. Like, what? Okay, why don't you just log off right now? It's freaking silly.
Who?
I could pretend I'm like a hardcore conservative if you want.
Wait, who, me?
No, this guy that called me. He said, oh, Dan's lying. You voted for Kamala.
Oh, dude, honestly, I make fun of people, but I don't care who people vote for. That's your business, not mine.
I think
I really don't like, I don't dislike Kamala.
Anybody, but.
Yeah, I don't dislike Kamala, to be honest. Like, she was just bland, but she wasn't like I don't think she was like an evil, crooked person. And to be honest, this may not be popular, but I actually didn't mind Hillary Clinton either, because she's a cold ice lady, which is actually can be beneficial as a elected official or the president.
Oh, I would agree with you. I would agree with you on that. Like, Camilla can't go negotiate with Putin. But Hillary Clinton is a stone cold psychopath that would send chills down my spine.
Yeah, like, dude, I would not mess with Hillary Clinton.
Like, yeah, no, I don't like Hillary Clinton. That's personal. I think she's evil. But do I think that we would have, like, it would have been a disaster for her president? No, it would have been a continuation of George Bush, Barack Obama, and then Hillary Clinton. Like, my main thing, like, I joke about it, but really, because I know neither side is really going to solve any issues. I really just vote now on who's pro Second Amendment. That's what I had to boil it down about. Who's not trying to steal my guns?
Mm-hmm.
It might sound stupid, but at this point, I don't really see that big of a difference between Democrat or Republican, barring this 4 years of insanity. But I'm like, okay, it's really just the media. And then I just sit there and I go, okay, but what really changed in my life?
I can tell you the one I was happy about. We got rid of our district attorney. This is the first time I've ever actually contributed to a politician's campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Because so they got a grant to like give money to the workers because they're working overtime, right? Like they're always understaffed, these district attorneys. He got a grant. Instead of giving it to his employees, he took 20 grand and gave it to himself. Then he fought for 2 weeks to say that he was allowed to keep the money. And then after the newspaper in the area got him, he gave the money back. So the other guy who's a Democrat, because I live in a city, right? You're going to have
Albany,
have your choice is a liberal Democrat or a centrist Democrat. Like there's no Republican. So we booted this, and this was a guy, he wouldn't prosecute people that were protesting, that they would arrest. So we got him out finally.
Well, dude, that's a problem with one party rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I do believe, like, if you just gave everything, even though I'm registered Republican and that's how I vote, I do believe that if you gave all the power over to the Republicans, the same shit would happen.
Yeah, you start having almost like
and it's sides. Like, oh no, but I need the 20 grand that was given to me for my workers because I need a new addition on my house.
Yeah. He's like, I deserved it. I worked hard too. It's like, yeah, but you're the boss. That's not how it works.
Well, that's not leadership.
No.
Like, sorry, if you want to be the boss, that means you have to sacrifice. Like, all the best leaders in the military, they would be working the hardest and taking care of the people under them.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chris knows we always ate last, right? That's what they told us in officer school. You let your people eat first.
Yep. So there I am, just waiting. Everybody, oh, where's this guy? Where's that guy? It's like, come on, I'm freaking hungry. But yes, I did eat last.
Dude, fuck you, officers. There's no way I would want to be one. Even if I rejoined the Air Force with a degree and they're like, oh, you could go into the officer corps, I'd be like, yeah, fuck the officers. So
I mean, the only good part is being a platoon leader. That was actually a lot of fun because you're still kind of like down with the boys. But once your platoon leader time is over, you're just basically a staff monkey.
My first half of my deployment, I was running convoys with like 20 truck convoys. I had like 50 guys. Fucking awesome time. Then the second half, they made me the XO, and it's sitting in meetings. It was such a night and day change. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm not getting blown up anymore. I'm like, I got a few months left. It's okay.
No, dude, that was the great thing about being enlisted is, like when I was in Iraq, they're just like, all right, go run some generators and don't be back here wherever you go. Hey, we got some time. Let's go to the PX.
Fabio's researching stocks right now.
Yeah. Hey, let's go get some coffee at Green Bean.
It was funny in Capital Mindset, like Fabio's really into this one company and I'm constantly making fun of it. And then people think I'm like really serious, but it's kind of just a joke. And then someone like yesterday is like, how could you not buy that stock? It's an awesome company. It's like, I don't have to buy every goddamn thing talked about. It's like,
well, that's like, dude.
I'm like, I make my own bread in this fucking area. So.
Well, dude, that is the weird thing, right? People act like you have to buy every stock that's covered.
Right. It's like, every idea that comes out. Like you can just decide I'm not competent in this type of industry.
Guys, there actually is a way you can buy every stock.
Oh, here we go.
Well,
you know what? You want to know one of the craziest ones? Dan, you saw the move like this week. It just absolutely ridiculous.
I know. All
Axon.
of them.
Like I was
dude,
I'm not gonna sell it, but like
J-Nog, have you looked it up? Axon? What happened?
No.
Dude, fucking rocket ship. Like the taser company. It just like it was like $120 in a day of.
I'll look at it later, but
yeah, you're not gonna like it.
Why is it just mostly run up?
No, like it's probably one of the best businesses I've laid eyes on. But
what is it? Axon?
Yeah.
Axon?
Yeah, because like they do like police equipment, right? But now they're getting to like subscription a model for like the camcorder or the recordings for the police.
Yeah.
Right. So they're getting all of a sudden subscription income, and then they have a drone business now. It's like it's amazing. I'm really pissed. I should have free thought Leo. He was right.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm not really, dude. I'm just the stock market is so fucking overvalued now. I mean, any way you look at it, right? I mean, this is a easy way on my channel. I tell people you can get a general idea of how overvalued a company or the stock market is. It's just book value times 2.85. Well, and that's about the historic selling price. And when you do that, the S&P comes out to about 3,300.
The problem is,
I think you're just mad because you didn't buy Tesla.
Yeah, no, that's it. But it's like
hard. When you look internationally, though, it's like, what the hell do you buy internationally anymore? Because like oil companies, mining companies, international, right? And now they had like luxury brands, which that's even questionable right now. Those are not doing well. There's just not a lot of good I don't think there's just a lot of good investment opportunities outside the U.S. right now. Like,
I don't
kind of makes sense why the U.S. is run so much.
I don't disagree with you, but that's why I'm just like that, dude. Until I see a correction, I'm just indexing,
Like,
averaging.
Are you looking at, like, for example, the forward multiple of the market average?
No, I'm not doing the CAPE ratio, but if you look at the CAPE ratio, it's still 37. And that if you like, I mean, dude, it's all tied to how much money you're bringing in. I mean, everything is, what am I buying $1 for, and how much growth do I expect? And to be honest with you, I really do buy the Vanguard, BlackRock, even Goldman Sachs has been saying, like, get ready for negative returns at some point. Because I don't know, unless we're in like a new era.
I think if earnings stop growing,
we could be. Maybe the old traditional PE ratio of 15 is somewhere around 15 is fair value. Maybe it's a different time because so many people have flooded into the market.
Well,
maybe fair value is a PE ratio of 20 or 22 now, which pushes everything up.
Yeah, well, it's not that like every single, or it's not the median PE has to be 15 or 20.
Yeah, no, I know it's all about, again, dollar and how much growth you're expecting.
Yeah.
Because a 15 PE ratio is ridiculous for something like Xerox. It's also ridiculous for something that's in the small cap that is new and emerging. You know, you can pay a 40 PE ratio if you expect the growth, but
and the thing that I kind of was talking about, I made a video like talking about Sven Carlin's take on this, is like, this is a counter opinion, right? Or like food for thought, maybe. And we can get into this because it can spark a little bit of discussion. That the composition of the index is just so different than it was back in the day. And, you know, you look at international indexes, and, you know, I'll pick on some countries like Canada, Australia. The majority of the composition of their indexes is mining, energy, banks. And so, like, you look at United States companies, let's say back in the day, we used to be, you know, pretty much the same thing. And it's very commonplace that back in the olden days, you know, those were the largest companies. And so in a market cap weighted index, those will be the largest allocation. And then today, I don't see like our banks trading at 20 plus times earnings. They're still trading at, you know, if you're just doing price to earnings, we're avoiding the discussion of like, that's not how you value them, etc. But you know, just keeping it simple. Our energy companies, I think ExxonMobil. Strongman, can you pull up the price to earnings of ExxonMobil? Well, you don't have to pull it up on screen. I just need I can Google it.
I'll look.
Oh, you got it. Whoever. I think it's not anywhere near 20.
Probably not. I think ExxonMobil was something like a 14 or 15.
Yeah. And we'll just do simple TTM.
You're 14, 15.
Yeah, and then JP Morgan, let's take the biggest one. They're probably also TTM, you know, like under 15 probably, I'd guess.
13.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, like all these guys, I mean, they're still within the realm of normality. I think the S&P's average is just skewed now more because you have Microsoft, Apple. Apple, we can, you know, Microsoft.
Yeah, I don't get that one, but
well, I don't get everybody's. I want to be in the top 7 in the S&P, and I'm like, you know, everybody knows about that, right?
Mm-hmm. There's debate on like the skewness of returns, right? There was oh God, I forgot. I'm so sorry, I forgot the guy's name now, but there's a pretty recent, in the grand scheme of things, pretty recent research paper that was published on the skewness of returns in different markets, and what that kind of means. But it could be, someone could make the argument that by buying the individual large cap company, you're over allocating, but purposefully over allocating because the index is under allocating it currently because you're getting a bunch of the crappier companies. And then that's the solid one. And the market is telling you that's the solid one, and for a variety of reasons that we can get into. But yeah, and I do think that I think now we can always say this, and I think maybe saying that today into the future is maybe more prevalent, but we lack the imagination of just how big they can get. Because I remember the debate being had back in 2017, the same exact one. It was like, these companies are too big. They can't get any bigger. Fast forward, they're all like 3 to 4 times the size.
Yeah. But I mean, again, it still comes down to your earnings.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the earnings in the US have accelerated to the point, I think, like the multiple of the market's actually not keeping up with how fast earnings are growing in the US.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, a company like Microsoft, which I think is, like we've had that thing. If you had to go to an island and you could only buy 1 or 2 stocks, where would you put your money? But I mean, again, at a certain point, it's, Microsoft is one of the best companies in the world, but you're paying too much for the cash they're bringing in.
Mm.
I don't know, man. I'm not doing any, like I said, I'm not doing anything. Index still, I see something, I don't know, maybe blood in the streets. But again, when you're working 40 hours a week, how much time do you have? I like looking at individual stocks, but I'm not going to sit around all weekend doing due diligence when I could just be like, I just buy everything.
Yeah.
Have any of these companies actually made money off of AI yet? Like I'm sure y'all have seen the pictures I posted of Meta's little AI image generator, which is pretty cool. Have they actually realized any profits from any of the things that they're doing?
Yes.
Just the equipment providers but not like the software, right? Like the AI.
No. They have. I think the discussion I think is better framed as not calling it AI, because when you say the word AI, people immediately go to the LLMs. The LLMs, no. But if we just change the word to just accelerated compute, I think it brings us to the better part of the conversation, because AI definitely, for Meta and specifically in advertisement, has shown significant improvements. So like, you could also say they're just all lying, right? We could conclude that they're just all lying to us when they say that they've seen remarkable improvements, and that the numbers are just growing because of another reason that they're lying to us or hiding from us. And we can conclude that. I don't know. But by the way, I wanted to state that the prior argument is why I say to people to keep them dollar cost averaging into the index, because that's the argument that Sven Carlin's been using to tell people not to, because he's pointing out, PE ratios, et cetera. And then that's, could discourage people from still buying the index here.
Fabio, you should only buy the dip of the index, okay?
Yeah, that there are studies already that show that that's not a good strategy either.
So OMFL is a sector rotating ETF. So they're trying to put your money during, they look at economic cycles and they try and adjust to the better opportunities, which would be like utilities this year or something, and then compare it to the market. So it really doesn't work. Trying to guess where you should put your money based on macro conditions.
They lagged the market. What a shocker!
Yeah, shocking. It doesn't work. You're better off just, like you said, just buy the index you picked.
Well, yeah, and that's, look, it does on a certain level. And that's why I am more of a fan of indexing. I go back to it again. You're an individual dude. If you work 40 hours a week and you have kids, how much time do you really have to properly pay attention to the market?
Well, that's why I watch Amit Kukrija and Tom Nash.
Yeah, I know.
They did the research for me.
Well,
and that legendary hedge fund investor, Jeremy Lefebvre.
No, but what Dan showed was actually really, really good to look at, because it's showing you in some ways, like playing with the soap a lot, look what it gets you. So
Yeah.
doing more is sometimes, not sometimes, in many cases, it's just worse than doing less. Doing less, the art of simplicity is beautiful, and can be very successful and lucrative. I've actually, I mean, Dan can tell you because he knows. I've sold out of things, and that ended up being really dumb. Right, actually, negative. Instead of
I think he plays with the soap too much. Just because you're right a lot, but I still think you trade too much sometimes. But
oh yeah,
do what you want.
Yeah,
I mean, you should either be super simple or basically you do it full time. That's kind of like my thought on the process. Because like if you research stocks part time, I mean, I think what happens is you get a little bit of knowledge about what's going on, but I don't think you necessarily fully understand what's going on. So it's kind of like one or the other.
Well, I think, and this is why I prefer indexing. I think indexing frees you up. So you go, look, let's say you're mainly an indexer, right? And you just go, yeah, I'm going to throw $1,000 at Apple after it came out of bankruptcy. And you just go, I don't care. I'm going to hold it. I'm willing to lose this money. Well, look at the returns you would have gotten. And it's if your idea fails, well, you're out a small percentage of your portfolio. So who cares? You're not going to be down at the truck stop.
I know what I would do. If I had Apple and it was up 300%, I'd probably sell it, even though it could potentially go up 10,000 more percent.
Well, I mean, even if you just looked at it and it went up 300% and you're like, okay, this is over the 5% or whatever allocation I have for individual stocks. I'll take those profits, throw them into my index, and still sit on it. Or, I mean, you made 300% on it. So who cares? I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. Like, I just think way too many people today think stocks are lottery tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's starting to get pretty bad now because people are getting suckered in hardcore to Robinhood. Have you been watching Robinhood's numbers? They've been bringing in so many assets, and they just want people to be degenerates.
I gave you the ticker, Strongman, the one that you can.
Yeah, you know what? I think I forgot to buy it, but I'm going to deploy my $150 of cash and bet against Robinhood investors.
Well, you're not betting against them. You're just betting that they'll do their thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and also, there's also, the roaring kitty dude. Most of these people were too big to see that he was playing them to get really rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. I mean, maybe when he initially started, he had better intentions, but with the most recent shenanigans that were going on, he's definitely pumping the stock for his own financial gain. And he'll be back. Don't worry. He's going to come back next time with $1 billion bet instead of whatever it was, 200 million.
You had to think it was funny though when he did his live, right? He did that, and then everyone's covering it. So like there was the countdown ticker, and then CNBC's airing it, and then he shows up and he's wearing like a sling, like long hair, and he's just like making grunting noises for like 10 minutes. CNN's like, oh, okay, we're gonna pull away from this.
Did you guys, on the topic of rotation, playing with the soap and all that, you guys noticed a certain person's ETF and how it's been performing?
Oh, wait.
Meat smoker?
Mm-hmm.
What's in it today?
I really think you should pull this
Let's
up.
pull up old PP, see what's been going on. Keep in mind, guys, the market has been ripping recently, and Kevin is a trader.
10% McDonald's now. Glorious.
Dude, how much is he in Tesla?
I don't think he's in any Tesla and PP.
Yeah, he's such
fucking idiot.
Yeah,
you can't do it, right?
All right, so let's compare. Let's look at PP because I always say don't judge by short-term performance, but if you're a trader, then yes, you should be judged by short-term performance. So 5 years PP is up 5.62%, and the S&P 500 is up 15%, not including dividends.
Oh, you put them like side by side. Go scroll down and put the side by side. Scroll down a little bit. Then more about S&P 500. Click that, and then compare to. Click that, and then type PP.
Compared to
It's right there. Yep, PP.
PP.
I'm gonna put them right next to. Yeah.
Well, Chris,
Chris, you clown.
Oh my god.
You had a funny video going over the accounting of his house hack.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. Computations there, meat smoker.
Yeah, where did you find his financial? I hadn't looked, but
it's on the SEC website. You got to type in what's it called, House Hack LLC or whatever, and then I had to go through a couple of the forms. But the most recent ones were they June?
Wait, pull up Jack's comment because we need to talk about that. I mean, he was outperforming at one point. Okay, so this is where we get into the topic of periodicity. Because recall that Kevin started his ETF in the bottom of 2022.
Yep.
And so
you
take a high beta strategy, which is all he is. He's just extreme high beta and rotator meme. Yeah, you get that. So over a short period of time, he could have outperformance, but it's just noise. It's really just noise. And I think everyone here who has been saying he will underperform long term because even of his track record before that, the same thing happened. Extreme high beta strategy, 2021. He looks like a genius. $40 million goes down to 10 million by the end of 2022. It's no different, honestly.
Fabio, are you saying that Meet Kevin isn't a genius?
A long way of saying that he's kind of like average retail.
Well, dude, that's what all these guys are. Like, as dumb as I think Jeremy is, I still have a tough time believing that he's been on YouTube for this long and has not picked up any information. And so I think a lot of it is, he's pumping stocks. Like Chris did a video on Daniel Pronk and how they were front running. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm just like, I have no idea why you take any of these guys' advice. Like, these guys are all scumbags.
Yeah, but they're actually on top of the world now. I mean, the market's been going bananas. Jeremy's channel's growing again. They're doing pretty good, and it could be a long time before they don't.
Well, yeah, I mean, remember the bear market and the sheer
I'll never forget that
duration. If we had 6 more months of a bear market, they would have been done.
That's why I hate AI. I hate it. It just completely bailed these clowns out.
No, that was by far like the greatest. That was the greatest propeller for me. It was 2022. That was amazing.
Because that's when you could tell Jeremy was about to have a melty. Where he's like, Jeremy, talk about Tattooed Chef. Jeremy, talk about Tattooed Chef.
Oh, he was having a breakdown. I mean, he was under immense pressure. His business was failing. His companies were going bankrupt. We could have got him had it been like a real recession, but it didn't happen. Oh, well. Maybe next time, maybe in 2035 or something, we'll get Jeremy finally.
No, we could have high spurts of volatility. I can see that for sure.
Well, yeah, some of the moves in the market, like Tesla, Palantir seems like a hyper bubble at this point, personally. There's just a lot of like clownishness going on. I mean, not everything, but there's some stocks that a lot of these guys are piling into. I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely getting into more, extreme greed. With some nuance, like there are some really good deals. There's pretty much always an opportunity. I mean, in 2022, there were really good opportunities that could have put you pretty positive. Stuff that's like literally sold off at the beginning of the year. I'm thinking of, one of the positions, remember I had Netflix, that helped a lot. The medical distribution companies like Cardinal Health, McKesson, they all did really well during that year. There were a lot
of Carvana. Let me look this
up. Carvana is an anomaly. Carvana, I
oh my God.
Carvana, every time I think I'm doing good, one of the members will like say, but look at Carvana. All this work, all this that you're doing, Carvana.
Yeah, I remember I took a steaming dump on Carvana too, and now it's up 700%.
It's one of the best performing stocks since the bottom of 2022. It's actually ridiculous.
I mean, it'd be cool if you could, pick the one, because there's always gonna be like one little stock that's almost sold off to zero, and then all of a sudden something happens. It'd be so cool if you could pick that, but
yeah,
I didn't see it being Carvana.
It's just comedic, like it's just hilarious, that it is Carvana.
I mean, what's pumping the stock? Did they like radically transform, or
they did some debt renegotiations, and so like it was about to die, and they renegotiated. That's why when you look at a company and it's like on its last legs, it still could be. There's still I haven't done enough research into it because I don't care for shorting it. I don't care for going long it, so I don't care to waste time doing that much research. But my surface level understanding is that there's accusations of fraud from some short sellers. Of course, they're going to say that. And then from the bull side, all these renegotiations, et cetera, that extends the the lifeblood, blah, blah, blah. But I don't get the bull thesis. I also will admit I haven't done the research in it. I've heard about some of the bear points. I don't know all of them. So
can we play a clip? I have a clip.
Of what?
Wait, let me.
You better not get me demonetized, boy. I need my $10 from this video.
Jack's point is also true that
I got the sound bite.
Oh my God, this man.
All right,
Gerber.
I guess. Tesla seems to defy, sort of PE logic right now with twice the multiple of NVIDIA.
You're shitting on
so
Tesla.
It just seemed like an easy trade for us to like sell Tesla and buy NVIDIA. But that's just, what we do here, trying to make people money at GK, which we're pretty good at.
He's pretty good at
pull up his fund. Pull up his fund. GK Strategies.
So he was selling Tesla for NVIDIA is what he was smug about. I'm on the wrong screen.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't do that either because NVIDIA is trading at way too high multiples also.
Yeah, you can see what he did. He went like basically Mag 7 tech.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Ross Gerber is part of House Hack.
Oh, yes.
FYI.
But pull up his fund's performance next to the index. No, go a little further. We don't judge short-term performance here.
Yeah, 3 year.
I guess look that bad.
Go a little further than that, please.
Has it been open more?
You can do since inception. So go to the inception date. Just see where it is. 720. Yeah, and then just go there. Very nice.
Damn.
There you go.
Very nice.
This is as an active an ETF as you can have, basically. This and PP. So
yeah, dude, I'll stick to the traditional ETFs.
Very nice. This is.
What are you paying? Like 100 times more expense ratio?
No. Remember his quote right there in the clip. He says, "We like making money for our clients."
Yeah.
He likes making money for himself.
I also have a basket of ETFs that his company, because he's at advisory service too. It's terrible. It's the most overlapped dog shit I've ever seen, like the funds. And I guess somebody looked at their grandma's account and it was like 2% up when the market was doing like 50% up.
Bro, this is why whenever I'm talking to somebody new, I give them one book and I tell them to go. I give them the little book that beats the market. I go, yo, read that book. And then I go to the Boglehead forums. And that's what I tell people to do.
Don't go to the value investor forums. You're right.
Yeah, no. I'm like, dude, I'm like, all these active ETFs, I'm sure there's one out there where somebody is just slaughtering the market. But I mean, the odds of you actually getting that one are extremely low. So, I mean, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, if you do a little bit of research on Google, you'll figure out that these guys that you see on CNBC, all they're doing is trying to make themselves rich. That's why I didn't want to be a financial advisor. because it's such a scummy industry.
I mean, I've scoured ETFs, like my ETF reviews. I've tried to find ones that like could, right, outperform maybe during a small period of time.
Yeah.
And I like some of them could for short periods, like a year or two, right? Depending on how the economy's doing. Like,
yeah,
like an ETF designed around motish companies can outperform for a little while. Like cows, where it emphasizes high free cash flow companies. Certain times it can do well. But like, yeah, but outperforming the market though, it means like what, 1 or 2% maybe if you're lucky. And then sometimes you won't outperform. So in the end, it's kind of a wash, I think.
You guys see this? You need to buy my book, okay? Multiple copies. Strong Man, Stop Being a Broke Loser on Amazon. Anyway, continue.
No, I work with this woman, right? She couldn't tell you fuck all about investing, right? And all she did was max her 401k. She's going to retire a very wealthy woman. Like if you even asked her a basic question, you said, what's an index fund or what's an ETF? She couldn't tell you. But she's done quite well just putting money, like going to the meeting and going, oh, so I just buy this? Yeah, you just buy this in dollar cost average.
Did she do like a target date fund or S&P? Or
no, she just did the S&P.
Yeah.
And then she had some money in the T-bills one. And I was just looking at her and she goes, well, do you have any advice? I go, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, if you want, I'm like, you're getting close to retirement. If you want to put away more money, start doing that too.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then you have all these people. No, I watched Meet Kevin and Jeremy. I'm an expert now. Here, let me go out and buy Palantir. Oh, look at Palantir destroying your ETF. Okay, dude, talk to me in 20 years. And in all honesty, I hope it works out for you.
Palantir's like $2 trillion market cap in 20 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm popping Zen too.
Zen's too weak for me, bro. I need the strong stuff, the zone.
The zone?
The worst sin that Meet Kevin does given, though, is that he makes people think that you can make money by understanding macroeconomic events in the U.S. And thinking that it matters.
Have you ever
all this time listening to his dribble about like inflation and JPOW, and none of it fucking matters. It's still about companies.
Dude, have you ever heard the Peter Lynch joke on that?
Yeah.
If you spent 14 minutes on economics, you wasted 12.
It's just like people, they took one economic class, got a C+, and they're like, oh, I can watch Meet Kevin. I know how this stuff works now. It's like, okay. But
I mean, economics is interesting, but it should not affect your investment philosophy.
Well, dude, I mean, once you get a PhD in economics, you realize just let the market sort it out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all Milton Friedman says.
Yeah. I want to say, like, I get that's an extreme case, but, you know, obviously we can say economics would matter if you're going to see or observe like a systemic situation, like, for example, Venezuela. And you're like, oh, I'm going to invest in that. Of course it matters. But for the stability that the United States provides, yes. Yeah, it's like a dependable bond almost. But hey, one day it could change. I don't know.
Any day now.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say it's maybe more complicated or too complicated to truly understand. So why bother? Is the question. You're probably gonna get it wrong. Why bother?
All right, this statement is wrong, 100% wrong. It does not over allocate; it perfectly allocates. Jack. Passive investing is market cap weighting. So how is it over allocating to the largest companies? It's not.
He's saying if they get bigger, they buy more of it, and if they get smaller, they buy less of it. I guess that's what he's saying.
Well, I mean, That's true, but that's for a reason.
I mean, dude, you can go buy an equal weighted S&P and underperform forever.
That is I hate that, dude. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, go ahead. Go buy it.
But it's outperformed sometimes, bro.
Yeah, for like 2 days.
So?
Because you want a garbage company equal weighted to Apple, right?
Yeah, I want ExxonMobil weighted, or not ExxonMobil. I want Xerox weighted at the same weight as Microsoft.
Imagine a total world equal weighted portfolio.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be stupid.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's not an issue in the way some people are describing it, but it can like extend momentum, but that's debatable still. It's not like we have the answer.
Okay, Fabio, I haven't asked you this. Why the hell do you think the S&P 500 was wrong adding super micro? Because I think they made a huge mistake adding
dude, super micro was massively
did
overvalued.
Yeah. Why do you think they added it? Do you think they had pressure maybe to add more AI to their index? Because it's crazy that they added it. I'm still stunned they did. And it's not just about being the 500 biggest companies, people. There is a board
there's other criteria.
It's not
forget there are criteria to get in. It's not just size,
right?
Like you could be, for example, master limited partnership. You're not going to be in there.
I couldn't believe it with what was out there about their accounting issues and how volatile I don't know. I couldn't believe they let it in. Like they should have waited, but.
That's why I'm not. I mean, if you're going to buy U.S. only, I'm not a fan of the S&P 500. I like the total market better because the S&P 500 is, in a sense, I mean, it's not super actively managed, but it is actively managed to a certain extent. Whereas the total market really is not.
I mean, like they'll flush it out if it doesn't recover, it'll get flushed out eventually. But
all right, in regards to an audiobook, well, once AI, my hot guy, gets good enough. I need to find something that synthesizes my beautiful voice, or maybe Trump's voice, and then I'll have it like read my text, and then I can produce an audiobook. I'm sure that exists already. I just haven't done the research yet.
Dude, that would be amazing having Trump as the audio version of your book.
You could have like, or it'd be so cool. You could have like, you could just pick the voice, and it just picks whatever person you want to listen to. That'd be pretty cool.
Yep.
I do meet Kevin's voice. Hello.
No, dude, I have no idea how these guys have made, like, it just, YouTube is so awash in scammers. Like, people buying Daddy Coin by Andrew Tate. And I'm like, did you guys not know this dude was like scamming you the whole time?
No, you pay for his real world. You'll get, or whatever it's called now. You'll get a bunch of like low skill jobs that you can totally make huge money off of. That's highly saturated.
Well, my favorite thing is like a lot of these YouTubers who are selling these courses are actually going bankrupt. There's this one guy, he's an ex-con. His name's Wes Watson. And like, the whole meltdown of his business model cracks me up. I watch these videos because all he is this steroided out guy who yells at you. And he's like, he's offering these people, like, you join his coaching company and then you get totally not a Ponzi scheme, but then you get your own, he teaches you how to get your own clients for coaching. And I'm like, God, I'd love to be approached by one of these people. It's like, yeah, dude, that's what I needed. I needed you to coach me.
Is this Penitentiary Life with Wes Watson?
Yeah, dude. It's cracks me up, dude.
Put in the wrong business. I like that.
No, dude, put him up for a minute. This guy, This is one of the greatest things that emerged from the influencer space is Wes Watson.
All right, let's do Dan's got it here.
Do you want me to do? Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
500,000 subs. Jesus.
And
Are you surprised?
This guy is going to coach you on business. And that's what he says. He doesn't, it's just business. And I'm like,
and look at his views to his sub count. He definitely
Dude.
bought subs.
Oh yeah.
Wow. I mean, some of these are a little better. Holy shit.
Don't be too mean, or he might beat us up though.
Dude, he
99% of men are embarrassing as fuck.
he talks, bro. He got destroyed at a Fresh and Fit conference by this like out of shape Christian guy who is and Wes Watson is going, being successful to me is being ripped, rich, and rare. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is like a 14-year-old boy's image of what he wants to be as a man.
Why can't you just go join the military if you want to be? I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Somebody just go join the fucking Marines or Army if you want to do this shit. But they kicked a lot of stupid crap I used to do out when I joined.
What do you mean?
Like I was like this picky eater. Like I would only eat certain foods, and
oh no, dude, you get hungry.
The crap out of me on that, and then just getting screamed at for months on end, and made me a different person. So.
Well, yeah, because it kind of like breaks your ego.
Yeah, and it just opened, and then I'm in all of a sudden I'm next to like these like Filipino guys, like, and I'm just from upstate New York, and dude, those guys are hardcore though.
Oh, dude, Filipinos are awesome.
Oh, yeah, they're some of the best people in the military. Like those.
Oh yeah, dude.
Guys. Yeah, one of them we thought was a convicted murderer. So that's what everyone was telling us, and I'm like, I'm gonna be nice to this guy. It's all I know I need to be.
You don't want to vanish.
No, you know how like there's a stereotype like kids get in trouble and the judge tells you join the military or go to jail. I actually went to basic with a kid like that. So he was from Texas, and I thought he was lying. He's like, no, I literally got busted for like boosting cars, and the judge let him drop the charges if he joined the Army. So.
Dude, I'm pretty sure one of the dudes I knew in the Air Force was a gang member, and I mean he left that life behind, but I'm pretty sure he had shot some people.
I mean, during Iraq, nobody cared, right? They just let anyone in it. We didn't matter. Like,
well, I mean, if he turned his life around, yeah. I don't care. It's like, I don't know. And I kind of chalk that up to rumors, but no, it's like my favorite thing. And like when I was doing stand-up, I had an entire bit about that where somebody looks at you and they go, bro, I don't know how you made it through basic training. If some guy started yelling at me, I'd just hit him. And I just look at people that say that to me, and I'm like, no, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
Get out of here with
Drill
that.
sergeants are scarier than you, dude.
Oh,
I don't know if you ever had. They know how to yell at you,
bro.
Usually they're pretty big, like most.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Even
one of them was a boxer. One of my drill sergeants, legit, like he was a boxer. Like you could tell, and he used to he trained in it,
bro.
Yeah, you were gonna get yelled at if he yelled at you. You weren't gonna say a thing. Dude,
one of the TIs that came on our bus, and this was like this is the Air Force. Introduction to it, probably about 6'2", 240 pounds, not fat. And that when that dude started yelling at you to get the fuck off the bus, you weren't arguing with him. When I walked in to the barracks, there was a cat, and I knew him. He was a former boxer. He's about 6'5", 6'6", 230, 240 pounds, surrounded by giant TIs, screaming at him. And I'm like, I've never been so glad to be average height, just walking by. Nobody notices me. Like I'm, the default white guy character in a video game.
But it's like, the old guys are like, oh man, a bunch of soft cadet, they don't hit you anymore. It's like, they don't need to hit people, dude. They got other ways to get you. Like, come on. Like, we don't need to sock people in the face. They can mentally torture you. Like,
yeah, hitting is for like a draft army. People don't want to be there.
No. Like punishment, punishment is like standing in a room and just holding your rifle like this.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's punishment. And they're, well, that's easy. Okay, do that for 15 minutes, people. Like in fucking southern heat, right? Because there's no air conditioning, but
yeah, no, I mean, dude, the isometrics, they can torture you with that.
Oh yeah, just hold your arms like this.
Yeah.
And then you can't put them down. And that's That's hard.
All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna do it for the
to-
rest of the stream. Let's go.
Yeah, then they would do like this shit, the overhead clap.
yeah,
And you just do it for forever.
try and just hold your arms up like this for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was what they used to do to us. So
Well, would
Yeah,
you,
no,
do
but
you put it down for a second? Would you have to do it for longer?
they would scream at you if you. They tell you to come see the drill sergeant. You'd be like, "You come see me after we're dismissed," and then you go in his office like to get something, and there's all these people just like screaming and crying almost because he's like having them just be in a push-up position or something, and you're like, "Oh my god, get out of here, run!"
Yeah, dude, PT can be used to torture you.
Yeah,
There's a reason why it's called getting smoked. Oh, you didn't want to do what you were supposed to do? Oh, okay. Let's go do some PT.
I hate though, like online, people will make fun of like they'll have videos of like the weight loss management companies they have now. Like kids will go and they need to lose like 20, 30 pounds before they can start. And then these people in the comments are making fun of them. Like, dude, they raised their hand to defend the country. Maybe they're a little fat, but if they got the effort, they're going to get there. And there's always been those fitness camps anyways, because there's an initial test and then you go to basic. But
those are just people that are fucking negative and want to drag everybody down because
maybe these people just didn't have the support that they could work out. And now they're in the army and the army will take care of them and they'll get it done.
Why would you shit on somebody for trying to make themselves better? It's only losers that mock somebody that's out of shape in the gym.
I never won. Maybe he lived in like the middle of like Chicago. Where's he going to go run? Like, where's he going to train? Like, come on.
But aren't we those guys on YouTube? We make fun of people who are just trying to get better.
Yeah. No, we make fun of guys trying to scam people.
No, that's a mentality. Like when I get criticized a lot, you're just hating because I'm like, no, there's a difference.
Dude, one of the it must have been Jeremy or one of his paid guys on my channel. And I know it was related to him because I called Jeremy a loser. And then this dude starts coming at me. This was like 2 or 3 live streams ago. Like, you're fake. And I'm sitting there and I go, I don't sell anything. I do my live stream for fun. It's not even monetized. But yeah, I'm the fake one because I'm out there like trying to recruit people for $20,000 to my stock course.
That'd be such a good feeling to see 20K just come in at once. Woo!
Oh, dude.
No more fines.
I don't know how I would charge 20K though. It'd have to be like a huge corporation.
I couldn't
get rid of all the regulation.
You could sell one put contract for ASML.
Well, dude, what about that? I always bring it up. What about that grandma that Jeremy ripped off?
Oh, there's a worse one than Jeremy recently.
Why? Who is this? What happened?
It's a lady. They sent it to you, Strongman, or they tagged you.
Oh, is it the middle-aged woman?
Yeah.
MILF.
Yeah. And she gets comments from that one dude who's a huge religious scammer, religious finance scammer. Like he uses religion and his ethnicity to.
Is it what's this freaking Larry Jones?
Mm-hmm, yeah, and he's always in their comment section, cheering her on.
Yeah, I wonder why Larry Jones is supporting her. I wonder what he wants.
But no, dude, there was those testimonials that Jeremy had to take down because of 2022. But there's this old woman. She was like 70 years old. She inherited some money when her husband passed. And she, all it really was just ignorance. She went to her bank, didn't understand what they were doing. She wasn't probably making the money she thought she should make. Because again, stonks her lottery tickets. Takes her money, pays Jeremy to be in his little financial fortress thing. And he puts all her money in the stocks that Chris still has up on VT versus Jeremy tracker. So she lost all her money. She has no way to ever make that money back.
Jay, would you make this sacrifice for us?
I don't. What did I do? Sure.
Oh my god.
There was like a reviews that I forget where you'd find them, but there were reviews of that service he provided, and someone complained about losing 90% of their money. Yeah, not getting it back, and they had all their money. It was like $100,000+. They had it all in VOO, and then they joined that service. I don't know. They didn't say how much they paid for it, because everyone got charged different prices. So, and yeah, they were complaining that they lost 90+% of their money, and they mentioned all the stocks. It was like TTCF, Fubo, a bunch of other ones, Voyager Digital. And yeah, that, oh my goodness, like, well, for a lot of those people, that's irreplaceable, completely irreplaceable. And depending on how old you were, if you're young, I mean, $100,000, that's, depending on how young you are, that compounded at average rates is guaranteeing you a good retirement. So yeah, and I still think this now, and looking back, I think like the hardest amount, I know it's cliche to say or admit it because that's like, oh, Charlie Munger said that, but no, I think that's true. Well, adjusted for inflation, I think I don't have an exact number because things just kind of happen, but I think the first 100,000 is pretty difficult to get to. Obviously, it will depend on your income. If your income's like really high, no, but
once you get to the first 100,000, it's like Charlie Munger's talked about that.
You know what it probably is? It's not, if you wanted to redo the measure, I think it's going to be more accurate to put it as a percent of your income. So like getting to that level, because like, let's say you just throw numbers out there. Let's say you're saving $200,000 a year. There's some incomes that allow people to do that. Get into your first 100,000. It's like you're saving $200,000 a year. It's like you're there in half the year. So it's relative, right? And that's why if I had to like bring up this discussion, I'd say let's bring it back to like relativity, right? Relative to each individual person in their own circumstances, whatever jobs they have. So maybe the proper way of defining it is like going to be some percentage of someone's income. And then once you get to like a certain size where it supersedes your income, you'll start, that's when, you get that, what he was describing as the feeling of the money really starts to kick in its own gear, because it's making more money if you're doing okay than what you're putting in, or what you're putting in now becomes less meaningful. It's not less meaningful. That's a trick, but it feels like it's less meaningful because your portfolio is so much bigger.
I'm starting to get to that point. I mean, I'm not like super rich, but I can tell I'm like, oh, I saved 1,000, but this week, but
your individual portfolio volatility is like thousands of dollars. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The amount of money I, made in unrealized gains over the past year was probably more than my income.
There you go. So you're probably there already by that, what in the spirit of what Charlie Munger was trying to say with the first 100,000 being difficult. You're like past that point for sure.
That's right. I'm Richie Rich now. Little minions.
Well, you've already shown everyone your portfolio. Like you're guaranteed to be a millionaire. It would just basic market returns, even less than what we've historically had. You'd get to, million plus.
Yeah, I haven't slowed down my savings rate either, because I mean, even 1,000, like it doesn't feel like a lot, when you do it emotionally, but in 30 years, yeah, it's going to pay off.
Yeah, that's a trick that people, if they stop doing it, it's like, oh, don't stop.
Well, a new thing I do. So I have this new job I've been doing for like a year and a half or something. And I have a new 401k with them. So I just focus on the 401k itself as like a metric of progress. So that's potentially another way you could do it is, my 401k has been here and now it's here and now it's here. Because you actually do see the progress, and it's actually pretty substantial every time you save at the beginning. So,
yeah, I just actually don't yell at me, but for like most of this year, I had a health insurance plan that didn't have an HSA eligibility.
I've never had that. I've never had an HSA.
What? You don't have an HSA?
No. No, here's why. Because with an HSA, you got to have a high deductible plan. And when I had the kids and all that, I would have blown through the deductible every single year. So that HSA, but now, like I was actually looking at my company's plans. So my company, what my company does is they put in $1,000 a year into your HSA. Just they do it, and then the plan's pretty cheap. It's a little bit more expensive than the military plan. So if I ever get kicked out of the military or get out or whatever, yeah, I'm probably going to go with that because hopefully my medical expenses will go down.
Well, that is right. You have the military stuff. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's just too good, and too cheap, and too good. But yeah, I would probably have an HSA if I because the premiums for the regular plan like $1,000 a month for me and the kids. Like, it's not cheap. So
I got to do an HSA next year because we got braces. It's going to save me like $900 by doing it. So. Yeah.
I even for my switch when I switched my PPO plan, it was actually projected to be slightly cheaper. So, but of course, I don't really ever go, and I want it for emergencies, right? I want it for emergencies. The health plan, right?
Oh well, once I get my kids off the payroll, oh my god, HSA single guy, I'll be socking away money into that baby.
Yeah, that's probably also for me because I'm just myself. Yeah. But even like you can put it whatever. I have my.
I'm sorry. How do you feel about this statement, Fabio?
Nate, you'll find out. You'll see.
Guntman. Guntman. What about Jay Nagy?
I know. I'm wondering where Mr. Big went. Probably fingering his wiener to pictures of me.
I'm going to change my channel name now. Whatever Nate tells me.
Oh, man.
Sick of my name.
Prepare to be deleted.
I'm so screwed.
Oh, Nate.
Yeah.
But yes, healthcare isn't that bad with an HSA.
No.
Not a bad deal.
No. What do you think about someone saying in the comments HSA is a scam? I don't know how it is. I would like to say, talk me out of it. I don't think it's a scam.
Yeah, it's like one of the best tax vehicles you can do. And I forgot the rule. I think it was when you hit 65, you can use it for other things.
Well, you can't roll. You used to not be able to roll it over at all.
Thank you, Andrew.
But so you have to like guesstimate how much you're going to need. But
yeah. And it helps. Hey, Strongman, wanted to ask you this: is there a limit to your is there a disqualification on income for deduction for an HSA, or is that one sacred? Because I know the IRA you can't.
I've never encountered that, but there might be. Usually there is HSA deduction.
I just hate people.
Yeah, usually they're pretty high. So like most people I do. I don't think there is.
Yeah, because I remember that the HSA is like there's like it has everything good.
There are no income limits.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you can put in for 2025 single plan you can put in
like
4,300.
Yeah,
and then family you can do 8,550. So if you're a single dude, like max your TS or your 401k, max your IRA, max your HSA, like you can sock in a godly amount of money into tax advantage accounts.
Yeah, and you can have your HSA because a lot of people think that it's trapped into sometimes depending where you're at. You gotta do some research into this, but a lot of the providers they'll have partnerships with like a regular broker. So for someone who wants to just buy a low cost ETF, you can. Most of the time you have like an option, but there's some out there that I know have like these mutual funds that are a little more expensive and they don't have like a simple. I think that's rare because I think the vast majority do. They have like an S&P 500 equivalent. Unfortunately, for someone like you, Strongman, you'd have to find if they have like a partnership with a broker where you can get VT or something equivalent. Because the ones that I know of off the top of my head, it's going to be difficult for your strategy to replicate VT.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to do I have S&P 500 and Total International in my 401k because they don't have a total. I mean, they have like a target retirement fund, but they have some like weird allocation to real estate. So I don't really know what's going on there. So I didn't go with that one.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I can put away for this year until April, because just like a IRA, they let you do it, and then so I could just do it all next year and just put both. But yeah, it's a nice little we get a nice little deduction, 4,300, and because his money's fungible, so I might even end up using it for my health, whatever, because it includes everything. Like you can use it for vision, dental.
It's pretty lenient.
Cosmetics.
Yeah, no, I would definitely use it if it actually made sense, but just right now it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I can't even, I probably couldn't even max it anyway. I mean, I don't make enough money to do IRA, 401k, and HSA. So,
well, dude, do you like your kids? Are they in daycare?
yes.
So when they go to school, that's going to be a huge boost to how much money you can put away. Also.
Oh, so I mean, yeah. So my income will go up. I hope. I won't be paying daycare. That's $1,100 a month, and then
Jesus
I got to
Christ.
pay off the car. That's $500 something a month, and so that's going to be gone in the next couple of years. So that's $1,600 right there, plus whatever income gains I make. And then when they're both 18 and out of the house, I'll be at 51. Then it's like I'm big money at that point. So if I wanted to retire, it would be in my 50s.
$1,100 a month.
That's it, dude. You're getting
we split
a good deal on that.
$2,200. It's $2,240 to be exact for 2
Holy
kids.
shit! What about you, Dan? How much are you paying?
I was gonna say 1,100. No fucking way. But
oh no, I pay half. Yeah,
no, that's about what you pay up here in New York. Yeah.
Talking about daycare.
Yeah, you're paying for like 1,000, 1,200 a kid per month.
I have
money. I mean, I make it decent. I'm not like a super high earning guy. I make decent money, but it's pretty tight. Like I can just max my 401k and then maybe my IRA with like side money. But after that,
I never had to do daycare. Luckily, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
my wife works nights, so.
But it'll be over.
I don't know how people do it, man. If you're a person that makes, what's the average wage in America now? Like 60,000, 65,000.
Yeah, it's like 60, 70, something like that.
Okay, I don't know how you're doing. I don't know how you're paying $1,100 a month per kid and making ends meet.
Well, it's dual earning, so she has a job now. And you have to be frugal. Like you can't get a big house. People make fun of me for my townhome, but I actually have money to save. You can't spend a lot of money on cars. You got to be very tight with your other expenses. And then if you're both working, you can make it happen.
Well, the house thing, in my opinion, is one of the stupidest things that Americans do.
Yes.
Everybody wants these McMansions. And I mean, for like what? To impress your neighbor?
Well, look, I live in a total crap hole. Like, how do you live in this, bro? It's not that bad to have a smaller house, and you save a lot of time because you're not doing all this freaking maintenance, mowing the backyard, trimming the bushes. Like, all that's stupid, in my opinion.
I have a small house. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and I mean, I can't really see a reason why I would need a larger house as a single dude. But you have guys, they want the pool, the McMansion.
You have to.
Yeah, there's a guy called Finance Guy on Twitter, on X, and he's always tweeting about personal finances, but he just blew a huge amount of money on a wedding and then a trip to Italy. And then he just bought a McMansion, like over, I think $500,000 with his wife. And it's like, you're such an idiot, dude. You're making all the classic mistakes that's going to really hurt your ability to save.
Well, the problem with the influencer money is how long does it last?
Well, he's not making a lot. Twitter doesn't pay that well.
No.
We got a super chat here. I just made $2, boyos. As a blank transformer woman, I recommend junking. I'm not sure I want to Google that. I'm a little terrified.
You probably don't want to live.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but okay. So that finance guy bought a house, spend money. The wedding thing is so dumb.
I never spent a lot of money on weddings. That's why I'm divorced twice. But but weddings it's ridiculous. There was this one couple that we knew. We went to their wedding. They dropped like 30 grand, 20 or 30 grand on the wedding. And they had the ceremony outside. It was in the mountains of either Virginia or North Carolina. And during the ceremony, there was this huge like storm that came in and blew all the stuff down while in the middle of the ceremony. It was freaking ridiculous. But they dropped a huge amount of money.
Yeah, no, that's dumb.
Can we talk about housing, or are we not allowed?
Yes, let's talk about housing.
I was asked. I have quite a bit of investments. Well, my biggest thesis are HVAC and housing, but this Marquis guy asked. It just got delayed a year. Basically, they thought housing would come back this year. If you believe housing is coming back, though, like he's talking about a supplier LPI, it's like board or plywood and stuff. But if you think the interest rates coming down is going to spur housing, which it hasn't yet, they're still like trending like downish a little bit.
I mean, having short-term rates come down
right now, honestly, to invest in like, I don't like the new home builders because then you get political problems of like an area could need new houses, but maybe they just don't want to open up land to new housing. So like suppliers though can benefit from retrofitting and remodeling and stuff like that, and the box stores. So,
well, haven't long-term rates started to tick back up?
Mm-hmm.
Mortgage interest rates.
Yeah, long-term rates have ticked up. The 10 years been ticking higher. Short-term rates, obviously, on the FFR.
I covered on my channel. So there's a big. If I remember this was like 2 weeks ago. There's starting to be like a disconnect between entry-level houses and like the bigger houses, right? So people will buy an entry-level house and then eventually you'll move into your like forever house or like a bigger house for your kids, whatever. I don't have the chart on me, but there started to be a disconnect in those prices because they usually follow along together, and then they started to split off, which would indicate there are people in first-time homes that have unwilling or unable to move up to their forever house. So that would benefit like remodeling potentially, right? They need to remodel something to sell their house potentially.
See you, buddy.
Yeah.
His ladies arrived. Time to get some cheeks.
If you want to speculate on these companies, I have a cabinet company that I'm playing. I think it's going to double it when housing comes back, but yeah,
the mortgage in the 30 years back up to like 7.374, and I think the market's thinking Trump is going to be inflationary long term, which might be accurate. We'll see.
Dude, again, they're not going to do anything about the deficits.
No, Trump ain't a deficit hawk. Trust me on that. He's a cut taxes and pump the economy.
Jay Nagy will love this. So I found a hurricane window company. This was I think it was six months or a year ago. So they specialize in hurricane rated windows in the Southeast. I buy some stock and then the company gets acquired. You imagine what that stock would have done with the 2 hurricanes that went through your area. It was awesome investment because like you can't just go to China and build a hurricane resistant window, right? It has engineering standards. So they had like pricing power and it was and they had the patents. And then one of those fucking conglomerate housing companies that buys all these brands up got it.
There's still piles of trees throughout my neighborhood, just out in the street, waiting for the city of Clearwater to come and get them.
Jesus.
Like right out in front of my house, my neighbor, she's got all these older trees. They were all just down in the yard. They're lucky it didn't damage the house.
Oh, good.
I would cry if a freaking tree fell on my house, man. That's the last thing I need.
Oh, well, I have 2 trees next to my house that I have to get cut down because I was honestly listening during the hurricane, just listening for the sound of the tree cracking and falling on my house.
Yeah, because I got some tall tree. My front, there's no trees on the front.
Yeah.
But in the back, the neighbor's got some big freaking trees. So it'd probably come and crash on my head or something.
Yeah. And so
you want to buy VT? Should I do it? You can buy VT is just a publicly traded ETF. You can buy it in any broker. I have VT and Fidelity. So it doesn't matter. And then I don't think Fidelity has a total world index. I think they have like the zero funds. I mean, basically, any total market index from all the major companies, they're all basically the same. I mean, it's really not that much of a difference.
I've shown in your Discord, I had to construct my own VT because you don't have that in a 401k or a 457. So
Yeah.
I kind of did the best I could with the options I got.
what? An old Jewish baby.
Well, actually, my mom wanted me to do 23andMe, so I've submitted my sample. So we're gonna settle the debate of my ethnic origins, okay?
But yeah, no, but those trees in your backyard, I mean, you get strong winds through Virginia from storms.
I'm in a flood area. I mean, I think where my house is, it won't be that bad. And thankfully, I have 2 stories. So if I get stuck in here, I don't think I'm going to drown. But this area it is a flood zone.
The flood zone ends like 4 or 5 houses down from my house.
Yeah, lucky boy.
And that's why I didn't evacuate. Because like Cole was like, yeah, dude, they're freaking out about this storm. And I go, it'll be okay.
Well, I mean, there was a chance that you could have you would have been underwater.
Yeah, I agree.
There was a chance.
I agree. But, and I started to get worried at the last minute, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but
we thought you were going to die.
but bro, at that point, what was I going to do? If I drove, I would have got caught in the storm. And that's even more dangerous.
Oh, but yeah, there is a point where it's too late, but we thought you still had some time to get out of there.
I got hit. The first hurricane hit me when I was camping in Vermont. And dude, it was like 6 hours pouring rain. The camp rangers are like, we might close the park. I'm like, where am I going to go? Like I have canopy and I got food. Like where do you want me to go? Like,
were you in a camper or tent, or did you rent a cabin?
Tent. Thank God I got a carport, because last year someone told me to get a carport and then like put that over our area.
Yeah.
If I didn't have that, I was fucked. Like the downpour for hours. It was bad. 3 people had to get out of their campsites. They became like lakes. The whole site was like a foot of water. It wasn't the worst. Like, I don't know. It's not the worst thing that ever happened. The tent stayed dry. So
yeah, but I mean, that kind of ruins your camping fun.
Yeah, for that day sucked. That was, the kids were crying, and I'm like, there's nothing we can do. It's just like, you just got to deal with it.
How old are your kids?
9, 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys will get through it. Just don't get wet. Like, that's the only thing you tell you. Like, stay dry.
Yeah, rain ruins everything. I mean, it can be hot, cold, as long as it's not freaking raining.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I like the rain if I'm not doing anything outside.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, the rain's nice if you're in a house, but
yeah,
like being in the Army, it was like, if it rained, I was like, oh man, everything's just gonna suck so much worse.
Dude, you can go to Harbor Freight and get a 10 by 20 foot carport for like $100. Bring it camping. Like,
and then what'd you do? You put it over your tent?
Yeah. And then it's still huge enough. Yeah, you put over your whole tent and then in front of it. One of the other guys was doing it. I'm like, oh, it's awesome. Like, and it's not that big to transport it. Well,
you have rain privilege.
You have rain privilege.
Some people have to stay in the rain every day. How do you feel about that?
Some
All
people,
right.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is what I wondered. Okay, down here, Florida, it's known for all the homeless people. Where do these people go during the hurricanes?
Alligators take care of it.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
I'll
there was
I'll never forget the guy in St. Pete sleeping in a sleeping bag right by a pond. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get eaten. You idiot.
Well, there was I don't know if I told this story, but there was a woman, it was in the news, and it's awful, but she was homeless and she was crossing one of the streams to get to the homeless camp at night. 14-foot alligator got her.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've changed my mind about moving to Florida. No, too many hurricanes, too many gators.
All you have to do is stay away from like the edge of the water and ponds. It's not that hard.
But then you have little kids running around. Remember that kid that got eaten at Disney World or whatever?
Yeah, but those people were from out of town. They were from Minnesota or something. So, I mean, I don't know why they didn't know it, but you can kind of semi-understand it because they were from out of state. And, I mean, in Minnesota, a lot of people on the weekends, they're up on lakes and stuff swimming around. I read a story online. This guy, he's from somewhere up north, and he'd take his dog and they would swim in lakes and stuff. And down here, he went for a late evening swim with his dog and got into the water and got pretty far out before he went to himself, what the hell am I doing? There's alligators down here. Turned around and he was swimming to shore and heard his dog yelp. Never saw his dog again.
Yeah. They have it's pretty well marked. I was in July. I was at Disney World. It's pretty well marked now. They have like fencing all the way around with signs.
I'm surprised
they do water now. So.
I'm surprised they didn't have that to begin with.
I know. Like I heard about that story, like you said, somebody got their dog snapped or the old lady. So
well, I mean, I get it if you're not from around here. I do. I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, this person is stupid, but that you're just not thinking.
This was my vacation to Florida a couple of years ago. It says, please be aware of alligators, no swimming. And there were a bunch of people out there freaking like kayaking or whatever. I'm like, okay.
That plastic's going to save you.
No, somebody put in the comments here, Cal's comments. Most of them are, but then you get that one that isn't. Because over in Largo, a year or two ago, a guy, again, I don't know what he was thinking, but he was playing Frisbee golf late at night. One of his Frisbees went into the water. He went in to retrieve it, and a gator got him.
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'll stay in Virginia, even though we pay state tax.
Dude, you could always move to West Virginia.
No. I'm stuck here. I've already accepted it.
You're gonna stay there even when you retire?
Yeah, because I imagine my kids will probably be here, and my parents are close. I mean, it's just I'm doomed to pay state taxes the rest of my life.
That is one of the good things about Florida.
I
you get used to it. You heading out?
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right, brother.
Later.
Good to see you.
All right, you just want to close it out? I mean, I need to go get some lunch.
Yeah, we'll just close it out.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Made $2 in super chats from Nate. Feeling rich.
Thanks for tuning in to everybody but Mr. Big, who's mean.
Yeah, he's your favorite hater, or he's your biggest hater.
I don't know. Whatever. You're gonna have your haters.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. All right, bye everybody.
All right, see ya.